Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Technomancer with your host, Nighthawk. And when we left off the last episode, we were in the process of making our woodcutting cart, and we needed the diamond to make saw blades, so I went and did a bunch of mining off camera and came across a good number of diamonds, not exactly loaded, but also brought back a fair bit of other resources that we were also needing. So we got our 5 saw blades. Now we also need we need our woodcutting core, and we need a piece of iron. So go in here, we've got our woodcutting core, and we've already got all of the other components in this cart assembler, although I do want to make some side carts as well. Was playing around on experimental or my creative world, and the internal storage cart doesn't really store a whole lot, so we're going to make a little bit more room in our machine before we actually build it here. So we're going to put these in like so, and we take our woodcutting core and turn it into a wood cutter. And now the other thing that we need is this side chests. And this takes a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if I have enough of these chest panes already available. We're going to try and see how close we can get to it anyway. Where did we put those? Okay, so there's a front chest. The front chest isn't going to do us any good because it blocks the woodcutter. And it looks like we're actually going to be stuck with this version of the cart having the internal storage, and we may have to. I mean, it should be okay because we're not making a super massive tree farm out of this. But in fact, did I bring up any of the track? I don't know if I brought the track up. Nope, the track is still at the track that we're going to use is pulled out of the mine, and we'll have to go grab that from the mine area. So you can see we've got our standard hull, we've got our coal engine, we've got our basic solar engine. Between the two of these, it should do reasonably well. The solar engine, it's not a spectacular thing, but it will work well enough. Then we got our woodcutter and some internal storage. And all we've got now is it's going to take 17 minutes in order to make this cart, and that's assuming that we keep enough fuel in here. I do need to stick a little bit more fuel in it, otherwise it will run out. And I think all the coal is down at the mine as well. So I'm going to hit assemble, and now all of those parts are taken into the assembler, and we can see that it's going to take 17 minutes to finish that. Now, while we're waiting for that cart, we're going to do a little bit of prep work that we need as well. So let's, first of all, we'll make a quick trip down to the mine and pick up our track. So we got 28 track, which isn't a whole lot. We'll start with this much track, and then we will possibly go hunt down some more track later on. And while I'm here, I'm just going to take some of this other stuff up to the main building here, or to our main area, because no sense in leaving it all the way down there. And it didn't look like I had any other coal in there either, so I might have to actually go down and go pick up some coal if there's not quite enough to make this. So we're going to take this stuff. Let's drop off all of the valuables that we just brought. I think that was in a different chest. I think that was down here. Yeah, there it is. Got a bunch more redstone, some more apatite. And we got some pumpkin seeds as well. to put the music disc over here. Wow, that music disc actually has quite a bit of cool things on it for Thumbcraft research. Interesting. So the other thing you'll notice that I've been doing is cooking a bunch of, well, there's gold in here, but cooking a bunch of clay, and it looks like I actually ran out of, looks like I don't have enough coal to cook all of the clay that I needed. So the other thing I want to do is get a coke oven going that's going to work with this tree farm, the tree farm that we're working on. So we've got 15 minutes left on that. So let's go start working on some track here. Now what I'm thinking is I want to take it out into the water area a little ways. So we're gonna, I just kind of built out this starting spot here. We're going to take this out a little ways. I kind of want to make sure that if I decide to take the track this direction, I'm not going to run into the mountainside. And I want to give a reasonably good area to work with, and also try to leave enough room in the middle here that we can put some other farms in as well, whether they be forestry based or cart based or anything else. So we're just going to go out this way a little further, and that's probably good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to build a platform, and what I'm thinking of, the way I want to make this work, let's see, 2 on each side, is we'll have the mechanical, the part that we need to interface with will be on this edge of it, and then the rest will be basically cobblestone with dirt on either side, and the track will go on the cobblestone, and then the cart will end up planting the saplings on the dirt. So first of all, we need to get a little bit more depth here, because we need to be able to place some of the other mechanical portions of this, which are a item loader, and the item loader will actually go above the track, and then we'll also need a item unloader, and we might actually look at seeing if we can do the advanced loader, just to, let's close this little platform off. Let's see. We might actually use the advanced loader so that we can actually have it alongside and not floating above the minecart. And that would actually make life a little bit easier, but I don't know what that's going to take at the moment. So let's see. I want to have, if I have the track come in here, that means a chest. Let's grab some dirt and use that too. That means the unloader will be right here with the chest, and we'll have a wooden pipe here. I think I need to go out one more to do what I want. Which actually means 2 more because I need a wall on the other side. This should do. Okay, let's get rid of the water from inside here. And I haven't made the loaders and unloaders yet, so I don't want... I'll be able to set it up, but I won't be able to put those in place quite yet. So there we go. And now the track will be right here. So we'll actually put the track pieces... We'll take that out and put... This dirt will represent where the unloader will go. And that gives us some room to work and set up a little bit of mechanics, and we can always take that down a little bit lower or off to the sides a little bit further if we need to. So our track is going to go this way, And eventually we'll also need to replace the track where the loader is, where the loader and unloader are, with a holding track so that our cart can properly unload things. Now, unfortunately, with the amount of track that I have, I need to be careful on how far out I go. And I think we're going to end up with a kind of a basic circle here. So let's go 3 this way. Put some cobblestone in there. And later on, we can always add more track to this to make it have more places to plant trees. Let's see, I think we want... I think if we have one space here... Well, that's kind of going to crowd the trees a little bit, so let's do a little bit more. If we have we'll have 2 water blocks, and our next row of trees will be here. Let's lay this line of track, and hopefully we have enough track to do this. I can always go down into the abandoned mine shaft and pick up some more track, but I would have to do... I'd want to do that off camera just because it takes a while to do that type of thing. I think we'll be okay. Nope, not quite enough. So I'll have to go collect some more track here in just a minute. First, though, we'll put the rest of the dirt. And I don't want trees to get planted right around the machine area because I want to have a little bit of room to work there. So we're not going to put any dirt right around there. Get all of this dirt placed. There we go. That's not where I wanted you. That's not where I wanted you. Silly dirt. Man, it just likes to place it above there. So there we go. There's our basic area that we're going to be having trees planted in. So I'm going to go do a little bit more track collection. And I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, and we're back. And I just checked our cart assembler. We had enough fuel to finish our woodcutter cart. We've got our modular cart that has a standard hull, that has the engines we put in it, and some internal storage. So we're going to get that out of the assembler there. And we're going to take... I went and got some more coal. We're going to stick some of that coal in this furnace to finish cooking up bricks. And then we're also going to take and get a couple more supplies that we're going to need. If I can actually make just 2 chests would be good. Just so we got a double chest. And then the other thing that we need, we will need to get... Let's look at loader. And let's look at the advanced item loader. So it takes a regular item loader and some steel, which we can't make yet, and some redstone. It's not too bad to make, but we don't have the resources to make it quite yet, because we still need to make a blast furnace and get things like that going. And I did go and pick up some more track from the mines, so there's that part is a good thing. And I didn't make the torches that I got the sticks out to make. There we go. And let's go put some light on this path. And finish putting down track. And I need to go grab some saplings. and we'll get this thing up and running. Now it's not a lot of tree growing area, but once they get started, they seem to actually do pretty well. So we're going to stick him down. We're going to turn off both of the engines. Now what this will do is you can see the solar array is deployed, so it's going to start collecting solar energy. It just won't be able to start going until we re-enable this. And before we do that, we also need to get saplings in here, and need to nudge this off the spot that we're going to be putting our unloader, and we'll put some coal in the coal engine, because that will help to augment the solar power. Now, one of the things I'd like to do is come up with a way of basically pausing, making the cart stick for a little bit. I may need to use a cart manager or something or cargo manager or something like that. But that will come a bit later. So I got 7 oak saplings, so it's not going to have enough to plant everything right away. But we can also we'll take a little bit of these bones. And we'll use those to start it as well. So I need a dispenser and a detector, and a detector is just a pressure plate with planks around it, which means I probably need to make some smooth stone, and I should have enough of that. Let's look at dispenser. I need a bow and some redstone. I'm not going to have any bows already around. No. There we go. That'll be enough string because I already have one. Now let's get our pressure plate first. There we go. Surround that with planks. Gives us our detector. And now we need to turn these into sticks. And see if I can remember how to make a bow. There we go. Need a bit of redstone. And we're going to put the bow, redstone, and surround that with cobblestone. Gives us our dispenser. Now we want to make sure that we get the right version of this, which is detector on top. The loader is the same 2 ingredients with the detector on the bottom instead of the top. So really easy to end up with the wrong one. That fire out. I got saplings. We've got our loader, or rather our unloader. So we're good here. Let's go ahead and set this up real quick. We'll actually put the saplings in first. So we put the saplings in the woodcutter slot, and we're going to turn this on. We want the solar engine to be the highest priority, so that it will always use solar as long as it's available. And you can see it's happily doing its thing. Once it's already out of saplings. So we'll turn that back off so it just stops again and loads up on power. And while it's sitting there, we can just get our unloader set up here. We're going to put our double chest down, and what we want this to do is we want it to unload the extra materials. We don't want it to unload. Basically, we want it to unload everything except for what we put in this filter. So we're going to take one of these saplings, and we're going to say, nope, that's not what I wanted. One like this. Darn it. Oops. There we go. So this will make it keep one stack of saplings, or up to one stack of saplings in the cart. So that's how that works. And now we're going to set that, and let's bone meal a couple of these trees up so that we can make sure that all of this works and get more saplings in the cart. Okay, and now we're going to set this to high. He's going to start chopping down the trees. Interesting, you hear the sound all the time, even though it's not actually moving. Oops. So now he's going to finish trimming those trees down. Chop them down, plant the saplings, and continue on. And apparently he didn't get very many saplings out of that. So now the one drawback to the way that this is set up right now is there's no pause. There's nothing that stops the cart on top of the unloader. So it's doesn't get all of the items out of the storage every pass. So it can take... It won't necessarily unload as efficiently as it could. Just make these trees grow real quick. Ooh, that's a tree, a tiny little tree. So that's the general idea for this machine. Now the next thing that we need to do is we've got some wood starting to come in. We need to start turning that into charcoal, because the solar panels that we're using, the solar engine that we're using currently, is not very efficient. It doesn't produce a lot of power for the cart, so we're going to need a... It is going to take coal to operate. It's weird that it left this gap. Must have ran out of saplings. Come here. Come here, you. No, he still has saplings. I don't know why he left that gap. Oh, there he goes. Weird. Silly cart. So anyway, that's the basic operation for this part. I think the coke oven is actually going to end up being next episode, because we're kind of at the end of this episode already. So that's... this will give us lots of oak wood that we can turn into coal, or to charcoal rather, and turn it into creosote oil. Get some lights here. Now that we know where all the saplings go, we can put some extra light in. And he's out of power. Now the problem here as well is if we don't keep if we don't stock power like coal in him, then if a tree, he will end up getting stuck under trees and won't be able to continue going. So I want this to be low priority, so it uses solar whenever solar is available. But we'll let him get going again. And the idea will be, it's probably not going to happen right away, just because it's going to take a little while to get all of the pieces set up. But the idea will be that we'll have a loader, and probably I might wait to put the loader in until I can get an advanced loader, so that it can be directly on top of this chest. That way I don't have to put it above the track, I can put it beside. And then I can also get a holding track here, so that we can stop the cart and unload it, and that way we can get everything out of it every time it goes by. And we'll also expand this as needed. So if we need more, if we find that this isn't producing enough trees or enough, the wood production isn't high enough, then we can just extend it further out and add more trees to it. The one drawback that I do see with this so far is it doesn't seem to work with any of the extra trees. So it only works with... Whoops. He got away. It only works with the vanilla trees as far as I can tell. Let's get some more fuel in there. And I think it will run on coal coke, but I'm not positive. I haven't tried that yet. If we can run it on coal coke, then we may just load up a coke oven with regular coal to turn into coal coke to power some of these carts. I don't know if it's the most efficient farming system for trees or anything else, just because there's not really any control over when the cart moves. It just keeps running and running and running, and basically burns fuel constantly. So not really the ideal form, but especially once we get some automated coal production or charcoal production from the wood, then it should do just fine. We've actually spit the coal out of its inventory. Let's set this so that it can store up to half a stack of coal. And we're going to take and put... We're going to put, well, apparently 9 coal in it. Because that's how many I had in there before it got out of range. We'll pick up the 3 that it dropped off, and we'll take the wood with us as well. And so yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. We now have a working tree farm. It's not spectacular or anything, but it works. And it's mostly automated too. We just pick up our wood from this chest and we're good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and are enjoying this series. And please take a moment to hit subscribe and like. It helps me out tremendously. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.